What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Whew.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're really just now really having an opportunity to sit down.
Yes.
I know you heard that big sigh. But I just want to just tell you that we just had a major milestone in our marriage.
Hey, babe.
Hmm?
I know this is what, week 33?
I thought it was 32.
32? Okay, 32. That
Yeah.
sounds about right.
Hmm?
People probably know who we are.
Right.
You know, just go ahead and let's say hi to the people.
So,
Williams,
so we thank you once again for allowing us into your homes, into your day, your evening, and hopefully you have had a wonderful weekend. This is my lovely wife, Ramona, and my name is Wilbert, and we're the Williamses.
Yes, we are the Williams.
And we're here with another edition of Love Unscripted. So we want to come to you tonight with our perspective on what we feel like is just something that's been an amazing journey. With this, it has its challenges, but the end result is amazing. And we title this Home Sweet Home. Yep, I said that. We said that. Home Sweet Home. And that comes back to, what does it take to get to a point in your covenant where when you begin to cross those major milestones that we have, the different personalities or perspectives, how you work through those.
Ooh, how do you, and he looks straight at me like I was supposed to have answered. But no. Yeah, our major milestone is we built a new home, and we just moved in the last 2 days ago.
Yep.
We just moved in. So,
brand new.
And so the process has been about 8 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
We kind of started in January with the whole process. And just to remind you, we are still newlyweds. When we started the process, we'd only been married, I guess, maybe 8 months, right? Maybe 8 or 9 months that we had just been married. Then we started the process of purchasing a home, and we decided to build the home instead of purchase, inventory. But long story short, one of the things that we made certain of, and we said this from the beginning, was that we were going to enjoy the journey.
Right.
Enjoy the journey. And I know for me, when we got married, someone told me that, when you get married, enjoy the moment, enjoy the day. And I took that on as, hey, I'm going to enjoy the whole journey of planning and all of the ins and outs, the ups and downs of planning a wedding and then going through with it on the day. We took that same thought process into actually our home buying process, and like my husband was saying, it was an amazing journey. Something that could be extremely stressful, extremely time consuming. It can have a lot of ebbs and flows and emotions and all that good stuff, roller coasters. Because of course, as you are, and we had to sell one home and buy another. So that was also
at the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah.
And so, even that process added to, the stress, potential stress of, going through with everything. So,
right.
I remember, babe, when we actually went to design the home and pick out all of the cabinetry and the color and all this kind of stuff, what we wanted in our home. And I remember them saying, this process typically takes a long time. Couples get into arguments and they fight, but we were on one accord and on one page.
Right.
And I think that was almost like the beginning of us knowing that while we're going through this process, we are going to stay in alignment, in agreement, and that doesn't mean that you have might not have different opinions. Of course, we're two different people,
Right.
different opinions, different preferences. But we decided to make sure that we honored and respected the other person's opinion during the process, and it was just great.
So, this, what my wife said about the planning, scripture says, write the vision, make it plain. So there was a vision we had from I do. And at that point of I do, we begin to think forward, not think back. And we thought to all the way through the process of the home at that time, what it took, the process of what where your finances should be, where your credit should be, all of these things, and knowing that once you put that vision on paper, and once you make that vision plain, you begin to function in that. There's a beginning and also there's an end, but there's also an in between.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about tonight,
I like that.
What we're talking about tonight is the in between.
Yes.
And so that in between, you don't know. You know you want to start building. You know you want to start saving. You want to start getting your credit together, your finances together, and you want a house that looks like this or looks like a certain way to your desire. And you begin to wonder, okay, so there's a process. And that process is, now we start looking. Now the opinions and the personalities fall into place. Now the likes and the dislikes, what I like, what she likes, what the husband likes, what the wife likes, and working out those situations. I might like one color, my wife may like another color, and we come to the middle and say, okay, this is what we're going to go with. And like my wife said, divine alignment, one accordness is the key to this process. Otherwise, it could be just like what they said as we begin to look at our tiles and pick out our tiles and colors of our cabinets, and they were telling us sometimes this gets really hard for people to do. Yeah. And they were giving us examples of other couples that came in, literally had to walk outside, walk in the backyard, and cool off, and then come back together and talk more about what they like and dislike and what they want in their home. Well, for us, I think it was a much smoother process.
That was super smooth.
Because it was they said that in a sense of amazement that we were able to work through it so easily, so almost so seamlessly, because we were on one accord and we didn't mind meeting each other in the middle. Yeah. And it didn't take a whole lot of time to discuss. Right. But it was a lot of planning and working that process, making that vision and walking in agreement, staying on one accord. Yeah. And as the process begins to move forward, you'll see things begin to fall in place. But it's just that little piece that you got to carry with you through the whole process. And the process took us 8 months. Yeah. But that little piece of being on one accord and being willing to compromise carried us through the process.
And I think, being intentional. So just everyday life can be stressful, but then you add,
absolutely,
on something where your everyday life could have stability, but now you're making shifts in those everyday things that you have to do, because you are now, kind of shifting your home and, packing and all this good stuff. And I think while you were talking about the word intentional came to mind. We had to be intentional about when things felt stressful, or intentional when it came to handling things in a certain way. Our saying is, it is as it shall be. It is as it should be. And so we stay true to those sentiments, like it is as it should be. When things felt just overwhelming, and I'll be honest, there were definitely times when things felt overwhelming. And so it is, you know what? It is as it should be.
It is as it should be.
It is as it should be. However the chips were to fall, that's how they fell. And at the end of the day, things worked out.
Oh, beautifully.
But just going back to the idea of being intentional. So if you are starting a process or thinking about starting a process, and it doesn't really have to be a home that you're purchasing. It could be thinking about having children, or even purchasing a car. You know, those things that take a little bit more discussion and consideration, especially when you have a spouse. Then think about being intentional. What are your purposes in doing it in the first place? And how do you plan on going about doing it so that it doesn't show up as a hindrance in your marriage, right? But it shows up as, man, this is something that we're doing together. That's amazing. That takes our family to the next level, takes our family to what we see as our vision for our family. For as it unfolds, and enjoy it as it goes. Because guess what? These 8 months, we could have spent these last 8 months like, no, I want this. No, you want that. We could have done that, but we preferred to use that as a time to, you know what, let me learn more about what my husband likes and what he doesn't like. Or if I ask my husband, hey babe, do you like this? And he doesn't give me a response right away, 9 times out of 10, I know it's not something that he's really feeling. Now, like we've talked about before, we're not mind readers, but because, you know, his thoughts, how he sees things, his opinion about things, they absolutely matter to me. And so sometimes if he doesn't say, because I know he's also trying to like protect how I feel about a situation. Like, you know, she probably really likes that. So he might not just come out and say, hey, no, I don't like that. But I try to read how he feels about something, and I'll say, oh, okay, well, I got that vibe that you weren't really feeling it, so let's move on.
Right.
Or, babe, I really, really like this. He's not feeling it, and guess what? Then he'll concede, and it was just a happy in between time for us, and it was a great time for us to learn each other, and a great time to know that this is something that we're building together, and let's do it in harmony and unity, right, and oneness.
You know, from the selection of the home, the property, all the paperwork, all the time spent packing, the time spent selling, marketing, the time spent, you know, looking at a new home, time spent dealing with buyers and sellers. It takes time.
Yeah.
So one thing you definitely have to make sure you do is be patient with each other.
Oh,
because you don't you don't have the same level of patience.
Ooh,
so one person, you know, I guess speed of transitioning may not be at the same level. The husband may be slower, the wife may be faster. The wife may be slower, the husband may be faster, but definitely be patient with each other when it comes to that, because that can make things feel overwhelming as well. And that patience, you know, Scripture said, let patience have her perfect work. Trust and believe she will if you give her the time to have her perfect work. I think you would do yourself an injustice by trying to rush things. You know, whatever time it takes, make sure it was peaceful, pleasant, you know, along with two. You're one. So make sure it's peaceful and pleasant. Work together. Stay on one accord. You know, protect the peace of the covenant. Because when two opinions are very strong and it's a major milestone or major change or investment in your life, which a new home is major. But it doesn't have to be hard.
Right.
It can be very pleasant, very enjoyable if you work together. So keep you know, your wife's perspective, value them. Wives, value your husband's perspective, because when it comes together, it's you two. It's yours. It's y'all's. It's not his.
Because we're from down south. It's y'all.
It's y'all's. It's not mine. It's not yours. It's ours. And that's the way you should travel on this journey when you're making those changes and making those adjustments and making those decisions. It's ours. And let's enjoy it together.
Okay, so let's give 3 words that you think would be perfect for someone who is like going through whatever that transition is, and that would be helpful. Like, okay, as you're going through it, think of this word.
Yeah.
3 words.
Patience.
Patience. Okay, I like that one.
Compromise.
I like that one.
Value.
Oh, as in like valuing their opinion.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say peace.
Okay.
So to keep the peace. I am going to say intentional. So being intentional about where you're going before you even get there.
Come on, that's good.
And I'm going to say enjoy. Enjoy the process, right?
Absolutely.
I think that was that's a 6.
Yeah.
That's a good 6 words. Just think on those.
Yeah.
Because you don't want anything to taint.
Ooh, come on.
The outcome. And so whenever you might have to cuss somebody out or draw that line in the bed and you sleep on this side and they sleep on that side, and then you move into this beautiful home, and after you done cussed them out and slept on the other side or have put them out the old house, and now like, oh, no, enjoy the whole moment. Yeah. Enjoy the whole process. And I think if there does become a point where it becomes too much and you're coming like this at each other, utilize the dialogue room as we talk about.
Yes.
And then do a reset.
Come on.
Because things, even though it's beautiful to obtain those things, that's not where it's at the end of the day. That's a part of it. And you don't want things to come in the middle of your covenant and stop what God has for you and your purpose in being together. So if it's necessary during the journey, do a reset. Like, hold on, okay, time out, blow the whistle, red flag, no, white flag, not red flag, white flag, one of them.
White flag.
Okay, wave the white flag.
Surrender.
Yes, do the white flag, time out, and say, hey, okay, let's refocus. Is it that serious that I want white tile and you want black tile? Like, what do we want to do here?
Right.
Are we really going to let that make us go to bed, not hugging and kissing on each other and saying good night and I love you? And that could be just at any point too, right?
At any point.
That could be at any point. It doesn't even have to be in a milestone moment, in your marriage. It can literally just be, hey, we just need a reset.
Yeah, for those of you that, are newlyweds and thinking about, buying a home or building, a new build, home sweet home. Home sweet home. Make it, a sweet process.
Yeah.
And, when you look for that home, make it a sweet process so that you walk into your new home sweet. It's pleasant. It's peaceful.
Not home, sour home.
Absolutely, because you want to have that tranquil feeling, taking that vibe into the new home, new place, new life together. For those of you that have been married a long time, you may be looking to move into a new home, but again, it's new vibe, new place, new life.
Yeah,
absolutely. So why not home sweet home?
Home sweet home.
Home sweet home.
So wherever you are in your marriage, beginning, in it for a while already. We pray that everything that we spoke on, the patience, the peace, the love, the value, the intentionality, all of those things you find a way to incorporate
Yes.
into your life, into your marriage. And once you do, you'll be able to see the difference, I think, in how your marriage feels, how it works. And we just speak all of those dreams and visions that you do have for your marriage, that they're able to come to pass for you.
Absolutely.
And you'll be able to do it together in oneness and in love. And it will be an opportunity for you to come closer together versus further apart. And that way you'll be able to advance the purpose that you have in the kingdom.
Absolutely. So be willing to compromise.
Yes.
So that you may enjoy the journey. And we say hope to you all. Blessings to you all.
Blessings to y'all.
You're no longer two, but you are one. All right.
Home sweet home.
Home sweet home. Congratulations. All right, everybody.
About to go enjoy our home sweet home.
Yeah. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye-bye.